Bonjour mes amis et bienvenue de ma cuisine. Aujourd'hui, on va faire une assiette de yassa. Okay guys, welcome to my kitchen. Thank you for joining me. Today we're going to make yassa. If any of you viewers were at my wedding, this is one of the meals that we had there that everybody really liked. It's the rice and the chicken and the onions and the mustard sauce. This is my favorite dish growing up and a lot of people really love it. So let's get started. You're gonna need yourself a pot, a bowl, a second bowl, a lemon squeezer, and a frying pan. You'll also need some chicken, oil, lemon, Dijon, onions. Don't be stingy with your onions. The more, the better. Same goes for your lemons and your Dijon. Don't forget your rice, pepper, and salt. Okay, Padawans, put on your aprons. Get in touch with your inner African and let's begin. Okay, first thing we're gonna do is cut our onions. So get yourself a cutting board, a sharp knife, and chop some onions. Okay, depending on how many people you're cooking for, you want to use as much onions as possible because it really makes the meal. But I'm just doing 2 onions. Next thing I'm gonna do is add the chicken to this bowl. I'm going to use just 2 pieces of chicken. Now I left my chicken just a little bit frozen because it's easier to cut that way. Next up, we're gonna cut lemons. I'm gonna use 4 lemons. If you have big lemons, if you have bigger lemons, you can probably use like 1.5, maybe 2. Okay, now go ahead and pour that into your bowl. Okay, now add a little bit of salt and then add your pepper. Now I'm going to add a little bit of mustard, but the traditional recipe doesn't use mustard, but it adds a little kick. Then you're gonna pour oil on the whole thing and mix it up. I'm gonna put you in my tummy. Okay, now we're gonna let that marinate for a while. If you have the time, it would be good to marinate it for at least an hour. I'm not gonna do that. And while you're waiting, you can cut up the rest of your onions. Add the remaining lemons and put them in your pot. Fill the bottom of your pot with oil. Put it on the stove and heat it up. Now that your chicken has been marinated for a while, take out your chicken pieces. I'm going to bake them and then fry them just a little bit. Okay, now we're gonna stick this in the oven and we're gonna let it cook for a little while. Just keep an eye on it. I set the oven at 400 degrees. Okay, now that the oil is hot, I'm gonna put the onions in the pot for them to cook. Be careful not to burn yourself. Make sure you stir it up and add a little salt. And don't forget your pepper. Now would be a good time to start cooking your rice. Now your onions are going to caramelize, and once they're nice and brown, go ahead and add the rest of your lemon juice. And add the rest of your marinated sauce. Make sure you put the lid on to trap all the good flavors in there. Now, if you want to fry your chicken, once you take it out of the oven, just go ahead and get a pan, put some oil in it, pull it out of the oven. Okay, now go ahead and put your chicken right into the pot. Now, traditionally, we would add something called pima, basically hot pepper, but I'm just gonna put crushed red pepper in mine because you want a little spice. Okay, we're gonna let that sit and we'll come back and check on it later. I put it on medium heat. I came to check on my chicken and I noticed it's a little soupy, so I'm just gonna add some flour to beef it up a little bit. I'm gonna leave it in there just a little bit longer and then it should be done. This time I'm gonna leave the lid off, let some of that moisture escape. Bonjour. Yeah. Oh, that's good. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the moment we've all been waiting for. The food is ready. Merci mes amis, bon appétit et à tout à l'heure.